Do not pass up this brand. It is not a bolo, it's not a very sexy brand, but it is a consistent seller for me. What's up, y'all? It is your girl Sarah from Sarah Styles here. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my top 20 performing brands for the month of July, the brands that I made the most money on, and then I'll show 10 of my what solds that contributed to these top brands being in there. So before we get into showing the brands, just a little terminology quickly if you're new to the channel, new to reselling. Average sale price is on average how much items are selling for, and your sell-through rate is going to be how many of those items are selling out of how many items that you have. So if you have sold 100%, it means you've sold everything that you have. Those are two metrics that I really focus on and look at. So now we're going to look at this Sarah Styles Sales and Trends dashboard. If you're new to the channel, this is for sale. So this is just in Google Sheets. It is a dashboard, a template that I have made so that you can look at this for your business as well and make those strategic decisions. It's up to 25 platforms for anything. It doesn't have to be what I sell. It can be electronics, hard goods, whatever it is. So we're looking at this chart and you have your sell-through rate here and your average sale price down on the bottom. It's going to tell you what is performing well. So before we kind of talk about that, and I'll share sell-through rates and average sale prices with you, the top 20 brands that sold for me in July this past month were Rebecca Taylor, Theory, Free People, La Vie, Rebecca Taylor, which I think is the higher brand of Rebecca Taylor, Columbia, Sanctuary, Coach, Michael Kors, Eileen Fisher, UGG, Johnny Was, Brahim, I'm totally saying that wrong, I'm sure of it, so let me know down below. Under Armour, Ideology, Patricia Nash, Tom's, Bach Born, Casper, Page, and Stuart Wiseman. What's interesting about this, if you guys follow my channel or you don't, I do a little bit of liquidation, a little bit of thrifting. Now that things are open up a little bit more, I'm thrifting a little bit more. So you're going to see a mix of thrifting and liquidation on here. Keep in mind, if it is a liquidation, it's going to be a new with tags, likely within the past year or two that it was in a store. So that is going to change the price of it, right? So some of these brands are going to sell quite a bit higher because of that. So if I find them at the thrift store, it's not always going to be the case. So let's go through and look at some of these sell-through rates for it. Up here, this is 100%. I don't find this brand often, but every single one that I had has sold, and it sold on average for $83 this last month. And then you have Bach Born. This one is not a sexy brand by any means, but on average, it's selling for $35, and 66% of this brand that I have sold I have on stock has actually sold. I will always pick up this brand if it is almost new condition. This is going to be thrifted. The purse before, those are all thrifted items as well. Come down here, Patricia Nash. This is purses. I actually don't know if she makes anything else. I only purchased the purses. Let me know down below. 50% of them have sold at an average sale price of $75. I will show you, like I said, I'm going to show you 10 of these. So definitely I'll show you the Bach one so you guys can see what to keep an eye out for. And I think I also have the Patricia Nash I'm going to be showing you so you guys can really get an idea of what kinds of items I'm purchasing from these brands. Johnny Was, this is a new with tags. Johnny Was, so $85, 50% sell-through rate. Rebecca Taylor, La Vie, I think it is. This was a palette, $108. Rebecca Taylor from the thrift store, I don't buy, honestly. And this is a really nice dress, which is why it was selling at that. I think I had like 10 of these in that dress. Rebecca Taylor, new with tags, is not selling great. They retail, I mean, her dresses are retailing at like $400, and I'm getting a fourth of that on average, right? So Coach is a consistent seller for me. I do not pick up every Coach, so definitely stay tuned to see what type of Coach is selling for me and keep an eye out on what Coach to pick up. Michael Kors, 18% sell-through rate, $73 ASP. Michael Kors for me is purses. I don't think I have any in this video, but definitely check out some of my past what sold videos. I will show the Michael Kors. I do not pick up all Michael Kors. It definitely does not all sell well. Specific style purses. Rebecca Taylor, again, 15% sell-through rate, $71 ASP. Liquidation. This is new with tags, things that were in the store probably within the past year or two. Theory, this is also liquidation. I rarely will pick up Theory from a thrift store, but this is new with tags within the past year or two. Eileen Fisher, same with Eileen Fisher. This is liquidation. Rarely do I pick up an Eileen Fisher. I know a lot of people can flip Eileen Fisher thrifted. I have yet to figure out what sells from a thrift store. This is new with tags within the past year, right? So it's very current. Eileen Fisher. Toms, I have a couple of these Toms to show you. Not all Toms are going to be selling. I'm very specific in the Toms that I pick up. Average sale price of $35, 40% sell-through rate. 40% of the Toms that I had sold in July. Stuart Weitzman, I don't know, did I say that right? Average sale price of $32, 28% sell-through rate. Don't have any of these to share with you, but I will say for this brand, I'm leaning more towards boots. Their heels, and some of it's the year that we've had, right? Not many people were out wearing heels, but those tend to sit and not sell it as well. For me, Casper, I will not buy Casper at a thrift store, but this $35 average sale price is because it's new with tags from a liquidation sold recently. And then you can see down here, and I want to note out, you can see the bubbles down here are large. The larger the bubble, it means the more that I have on hand. And this is a misconception that a lot of people have, and why it's important to look at your sell-through rate is if you're selling a lot of items simply because you have a lot of items, you are actually doing yourself a disservice because you have a lot of inventory that's not selling. That's where looking at your sell-through rate is so important, because it's telling you, hey, if you have a lot of items but you're only selling 2% of those, that's not good. Even if that 2% is 50 items, you still have a lot of items that you spent money on that are not selling. Sell-through rate is so important, and that is one of the reasons. Simply because you have a lot of items and you're selling a lot of items, that does not mean that it is a great thing for you to be doing. And that's exactly what this is down here for me. These made it to my top brands simply because I have a lot of them. The sell-through rates are on the bottom end of this chart. I have a lot of these because they're liquidation. And when you buy a palette, sometimes you get a lot of things that aren't necessarily great sellers. Free People is up there. I'm noticing a decline in Free People. Let me know if you guys sell that as well. Some of it is like Free People has a Poshmark closet now, right? So I'm not going to be able to compete with that. So Free People is definitely down there. Sanctuary is down there. Ideology and what's the other one? Under Armour. Those are all liquidation palettes, things that I would not purchase from a thrift store, things I would never have bought that much, but it was in a palette and I got what I got. I'm still making money off of them. They're probably just going to be the long game and not making a ton of money on them. So before we get into the actual what sold, wicka, I interrupt this program. Subscribe! Likes are free! All right, let's look at some what sold. Some of the items, I'm only going to show 10. Let me know if you guys want to see more. I don't like talking that long. So check out my shorts, check out my Instagram, check out my TikToks. I share what sold on those a lot. You know, these are my daily things that sold. So check those out. For the sake of this video, I've picked 10 that are contributing to these top brands. So Bach by Born. These were new without tags. You can see, where's the bottom? Or I think it did have a tag. Yeah, so the bottom still had the tag on it, and they were completely new, sold for $29.70. So they're not overly sexy, but $30 is a very consistent sell, is a very consistent average sell price. And the other thing too, so if you scroll up here, you can look my shoes. Okay, $30, how much are you actually spending on them, Sarah? My average cost of goods for shoes is about $5. So I'm making $25 on those shoes. 66% of them are selling. I'm going to keep picking that up. Eileen Fisher, this is, like I said, a new with tags. I don't really know, honestly, what to pick up at a thrift store. So if you guys are like Eileen Fisher fans and just like gurus with Eileen Fisher, let me know down below. This sold because it was recently in a store. You know, it's trendy. It's on point. It's new with tags. Sold for $64. Again, another Bach by Born. These fisherman sandals, if you guys don't know, these fisherman sandals are very big right now. If you're close to my age, or in or around my age, you know, these were big in the 90s. The 90s are definitely big right now. So these are Bach by Born, but like Doc Martin makes them, Skechers. I mean, a lot of different brands made them. These are a newer style. These weren't actually vintage, but they were very much that style. And they sold for $34. I think these sold full price. I'm noticing men's tend to just buy things if they're a good price. Don't sell a lot of men's though, but these were men's. I got those at the bins, and so, you know, they probably cost me $2. This is thrifted. This is Coach. So typically I do not pick up anything from Coach that is going to have their logo or monogram on it. However, this is patchwork, and I've actually sold 2 or 3 of these, and I know they typically sell between $70 and $90. I am noticing a decline in my purse sales, my average sale price. I think that just has to do with we were in a pandemic and people had less money, but it still is consistently selling for me. That's why I picked that one up. Columbia is up there. Something I want to mention with Columbia is this is new with tags. I see Columbia a lot in Colorado, and I do buy it from the thrift store, but this is new with tags, and it sold for $18. Can you imagine what a used one would sell for? Some of their stuff does not sell for a lot. I will pick up their snow boots. Those are going to sell a little bit higher, and their heavy jackets are going to sell higher. Anything like their fleeces, their shirts, they're going to sell. You're going to sell them, but they're not going to bring in huge profits. Here is a Coach again. This is the bigger tends to be the better. It obviously is going to depend. The bigger the better. This was in really good condition as well. And it was just in really good condition. It's full leather. Those are the purses that I tend to lean towards. Something that's going to be a little bit more classic. It's going to stay a little bit longer, not necessarily as trendy or flashy, you know, showing all of the logos and stuff, is going to tend to sell a little bit higher and faster for me with Coach and purses in general. These are Toms. So Toms, like I said, I don't pick up most Toms. I will pick up certain things if they're slightly different. So there was not any other ones of these on eBay in this size at the time that I listed it. And they were either new without, I don't remember if I put new without tags, or they're probably just really good condition. You can see the bottoms, they were hardly worn. They were in like pristine condition. They sold her for $28. Also at the thrift store. So you guys can notice now that I'm getting back to the thrift store, thrift store is better for me. My average sale price is increasing because of the thrift store. I do have lots of videos on that. I will link videos up above. Thrift store versus liquidation palettes. There's money to be made both ways. Depends on where you live and what thrifting you have and your liquidation sources. This I purchased at the bins. I went shopping with Amber Resells. I will link the video up here. We kind of did a challenge, who got better stuff. And this was actually, when you go sourcing at the bins, I always check on the ends because that's where they're going through their carts and they're like, I don't want this. My guess is someone thought this was probably fake or didn't know purses because it was thrown back with like a Coach purse and a couple other purses. And so I obviously grabbed it and it sold for $70. It was an offer. You can see down here, best offer accepted. I think I had it listed at $90, but I paid like $2 for it, right? I'm not in the business of hoarding. I'm in the business of selling. So again, this is another pair of Toms that I picked up. These are a special edition Toms, and they were also in pretty good condition. You can see the bottoms here. You know, there's a little dirt. I don't really clean my shoes so much, but you can tell by the heels and just the trek on the bottom how good a condition they were in. So something I want to point out, I have one more to share with you, but something I'm going to point out is you've noticed that this is all eBay. I have one more Poshmark, but this is very much how my business is. My split out between eBay and Poshmark. In July, I did a little over $5,000 on eBay and not even $1,000 on Poshmark. You can also see my year on Poshmark is down. Lots of videos. I will link a Poshmark playlist up here for you guys on what's happening on Poshmark for me. Let me know how your Poshmark is doing as well. This is a Patricia Nash. Something that was really cool about this one is it was on eBay for a couple months, and then I put it over onto Poshmark, and it sold within a week or two. I think I had it listed at $90, and they sent me a reasonable offer for $75, which is not always the case on Poshmark. So if you guys liked this video, YouTube thinks that you're also going to like this video. I'll link some more what sold videos here for you guys to check out, and then make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to learn how to make money recently.